whenever we get out of the presentation mode, you will see that there are a number of floors in the Remo. It is located on the left-hand side of your, little diagram. You can see all the tables, and you can transition between tables in the Remo platform, but on the left-hand side, you'll see the floors. Each floor will be related to a challenge. So the first floor is kind of the main floor. So this is not tied to any specific challenge. This is where we're running the event from. The second floor will be transportation. This is going to be the shift. It's going to talk about the shift that's coming in transportation, shifting regional, consumer commercial fleets to electric and low emission vehicles, and how we're going to be doing that over time. So if you're interested in transportation, that will be floor 2. If you are interested in the energy transition, this is making Houston the leader in carbon capture technology and energy innovation. That will be floor 3. If you are interested in the energy transition around restoring, protecting, enhancing Houston's ability to capture and store carbon, that will be floor 4. If you are interested in building optimization, this is reducing energy use, maximizing savings around energy. That will be floor 5. Building optimization around investment and energy efficiency will be floor 6. And so this is like around how do we actually scale and build energy efficiency projects around buildings. And floor 7 will be materials management. So this is going to be reducing waste, transforming the circular economy. And finally, floor 8 will also be materials management, but it'll be around optimizing operations for waste operations and creating power from that waste. So how do we turn waste into a feedstock for another process? So if you have any questions or you'd like to stop off, please come back to floor 1 at any point. Feel free to message me or Jason or Grace on any operational items as you are transitioning around. We are ready to get started. Let's get to hacking. So, close down the presentation platform, Jason, and everyone, please feel free to move to the associated floors. You can look on the different functions, and we will post in the chat, which floor is which area, which focus area. So yeah, let's go ahead and close this down and let everyone get to hacking. Hello, everyone at Climathon Houston 2020. We are taking a short break for a second for an exciting announcement. This is coming from Dakota Stormer. So Dakota is the CEO of Footprint app. And so this is an app that will allow you to quantify your carbon footprint and take action and show you how to take action to how to reduce your personal carbon footprint. Dakota, if you could, please join me here on stage. Awesome. And I will let you take the floor, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, Trevor. So hey, everyone, I'm Dakota Stormer. I am the CEO of Footprint App Inc., and I've got a super exciting announcement to make today. Footprint has been involved in the Impact Hub community for over a year, probably getting close to 2 years now. Time sure does fly. I got to join into the Impact Hub community, first coming to an open project night where we first were formulating the Footprint App idea and shared it there. And then over time, I came and got to speak at one of the open project nights as we started developing our application a bit further and doing some testing. Got some beta testers there, which was great. And then after that, at Climathon last year, we had some of our team members. I got to also get connected into the Greentown Labs community as Footprint App started growing and as we started testing our beta product a bit further and understanding our product market fit. And it's been a really, really exciting journey. And then so this year, we wanted to have a really special announcement for Climathon, being the announcement that the Footprint app is now live. And so this is the launch date of the newest Footprint app version. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all the Footprint app and kind of give y'all early access. So what I've done in the chat, I've just pasted a link to the Footprint app where you can access it. So our regular website is footprintapp.org. But the application for your personal viewing portal is the myfootprintapp.org. So you can go to myfootprintapp.org. You can click organization, and I'll actually do like a quick walkthrough to kind of show you. But it's been super exciting to finally get this product out and ready. So you can go to the footprintapp.org, myfootprintapp.org, and then it'll bring you to this login page. When you go in, you can register. And then you can register as an organization or affiliated with an organization. And then you can click employee. We need to change this to member, of course. This is a first launch. So there are a couple little things in here that we're going to ask for you to kind of give some feedback on. But now our product is out and ready for the market. We have huge organizations such as Baker Hughes lined up to have a big corporate use of this application, Society of Petroleum Engineers International, and a bunch of schools. We have 53 teachers already signed up and using this program coming in the next few weeks. So super exciting. So whenever y'all join, you can enter that code that I pasted in above the website link to be able to join the organization. And so this will have it to where all of you can be a cohort of the first users of the Footprint app, of the new version, and be able to have your own internal leaderboard. So really excited to be able to do that with you. I'm going to just kind of show you a quick demo of what that looks like. So when you go in, you'll be able to see your carbon footprint dashboard. First, you'll log your initial carbon footprint, but we skipped that step right now. And then you can go in and you can see what the contributing factors are. You can be able to see how you've offset, if you've offset any of your carbon footprint. You can log your day, so you can kind of see how you ate that day, maybe like a small vegan meal if you're doing well. Save your daily log, and then go in and then be able to see how your day stacks up to where you are the rest of the week. So it's a really cool way for you to track your progress. But the big thing is that we use this for schools, organizations, companies, as well as individuals. So as you saw in the signing up thing, you're able to see the leaderboard within your organization. So this is where you would be able to join. This is a school demonstration that I've got right now, but the one that you'll be able to see is all of the members of Climathon this year, be able to join in and be able to collectively reduce your impact together as a way to not only make the impact that you're making here today, but continue to make that impact together in the long run as you engage and interact to reduce your carbon footprints. So you can see how you stack up in the week, the month, the total, and the organization, and in the global stats. So some of you already were logged in here, like Helen, which is super exciting. So you're able to kind of go in and see how you stack up. We've got challenges, great things that you can do to reduce your impact beyond just your carbon footprint related to, say, water or fashion. And so super exciting way for you to make that impact on the environment and start showing some metrics and calculations and some impact there too. And we even have a green market where you're able to kind of see the new green products and shift consumer demand from things that can cause an impact on climate change towards ones that have a lower impact on the planet, such as sustainable fashion choices or choosing different foods that have a lower impact, either through being locally sourced or being more vegetarian friendly. So exciting time, super excited to be able to share that we are launching this application here with you. So y'all are the first people to be able to see this in the public. Really excited to show that to you. And I invite you all to be able to use that user code and be a cohort within Climathon to be able to make that impact together and reduce your impact. And kind of see how the journey has come from, being part of Climathon a long time ago and being part of Impact Hub about 2 years ago, up to the point now where we're, launching a product that's able to make an impact on many communities, including Rotary International, Society of Petroleum Engineers, and any other companies and schools. So, and if you suggest any organizations, companies, et cetera, that you think would have value from this, please go in and add some feedback and share that to us too. Awesome. Thanks. And I guess back over to you, Trevor.
Hey, thank you very much, Dakota. And I just want to say congratulations. That's really amazing. And for everyone here participating in this, I think it's good to see where Dakota has come from and how far he's gone, because this is the amazing kind of thing that can come out of a working session like this. And so it's been really inspiring for me to see how far Dakota's come. I remember I talked with him almost a year ago, and to have seen the progression of Footprint app over time is really awesome. And so these ideas that we're working on today, they can turn into real things. They can gain real traction and start to make real impacts, just like Footprint. And so I think that was a great step away for a second for everyone to see the potential of what we're working on today. And let's jump back into the sessions, pick up where we left off. And looking forward to hearing the pitches. We've got about 1 hour, so at this point we should start honing in on what our main themes are, what ideas we want to work on, and start crafting those pitches. More than one team per floor is okay, but you get one pitch per team. You have 2 minutes, and please feel free to reach out to myself, Grace, Jason, Michelle, if you have any questions. Awesome. Back to you guys. All right, how is everyone doing? It is that time that everyone has been waiting for. It is time to see the pitches. Let's people up and see what we have come up with. Really quick, before we do this though, I would like to, if you've been having a great time, if you've really enjoyed this event and you want to tell people about it, please do so on social media. The tag is @Climathon. Tag Global Climathon @Global Climathon if you want to be featured globally. And hashtag Climathon, the hashtag platforms. So let's start off with challenge number 1. This was floor 2 and electric transportation. And Kate, the floor is yours.
Wonderful. Great. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Great. So our problem, as it was described, is really focusing on how do we further EV adoption within the Houston area. It has multiple benefits, environmental, economical, as well as lifestyle benefits. So the problem we're trying to solve is we're really trying to improve air quality within Houston and lowering the greenhouse gas emissions. And this is a major issue for Houstonians because it definitely impacts their public health and overall their quality of life. So what we are pitching to improve the air quality and lower greenhouse gas emissions, we're wanting to electrify transportation within Houston, and a huge opportunity is to really focus on the consumer level, as 50% of the vehicle miles traveled within Houston are pickup trucks, gasoline pickup trucks on the consumer side. So a lot of the issues come from there. So what we're pitching today is to create an educational marketing campaign to really show Houstonians why electric vehicles is the future, and more specifically, the electric pickup trucks, as that segment will be growing greatly within the next 2 to 3 years. So how will we be doing this? The group ideated on multiple different types of campaigns, and we have come to a conclusion that a YouTube series really focusing on the EV benefits would be the best fit. And the reason for that is we're trying to really focus on the younger generation, the future of drivers within Houston, and who will have be the decision makers in what vehicles they get to purchase. And the YouTube series will really try to bring in the high profile individuals within Houston. So sports athletes like JJ Watt, Houstonian artists, perhaps like Travis Scott, corporate executives within the oil and gas industry, really speaking to the benefits of EVs and how it aligns with their values. Houston is a space city, perhaps inviting and creating a strategic partnership with, oh no, is that 2 minutes? Oh man.
Finish up. It's not a super hard 2 minutes, but
Well, anyway, so the ask is, for us to create these high quality and informative videos with these high profile individuals, we would need funding and sponsorship. We would need a media team to produce high quality videos. So how can we partner with organizations that would be able to provide those materials? And of course, forming a website and a landing page where people that would view these videos, they could be directed to learn more about electric vehicles and obtain more information. So this would be a Houston-wide campaign, but then it could also translate throughout the nation, and these resources can be used by everyone. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And that was Catherine Abochakra from challenge number 1 on electric transportation, creating a YouTube series on education for EV adoption in Houston, quality content, working with thought and community leaders. So let's go to challenge number 2. This is making Houston the leader in energy innovation. Table number 1, Andy Littlejohn with Epicenter outside out of San Antonio will be presenting this this pitch. If you could, Jason, give Littlejohn presenter rights, and fantastic. Andy, the floor is yours, and I will come back on right around 2 minutes.
Great, thank you, Trevor. So the problem that we were looking to solve at our table is the lack of energy resiliency in climate-sensitive, urban, mixed-use environments. But we also wanted to keep a focus on equity as part of the energy transition. So what we propose is starting a nonprofit that will roll out an innovative business model to help this problem, specifically in the innovation corridor in Houston, through the development of a microgrid that serves to harden the innovation corridor against disruptive events. So microgrids in an urban environment will help support not only the power resiliency of corporate entities, but also the power resiliency of residential units as well that are located within the innovation corridor. Additionally, a microgrid in this area would allow for testing of new and innovative technology, which is especially prevalent given the opening of Greentown Labs and the ION in the innovation corridor. So the innovative part of this business model is that we foresee this project bringing together money from federal sources, such as DOE grants, as well as earned income from corporate entities who would have their office spaces in the innovation corridor. We would charge a premium for that space and would also charge membership fees for innovators and entrepreneur-serving organizations to test emerging tech on the microgrid and the innovation corridor. The funds coming in from these different sources would help to subsidize residential units for low to moderate income households that are located in the innovation corridor. So that would make equity and community impact a key component of the energy transition in Houston. And obviously, we still have a lot more work to do in identifying the different partners that we would like to work with. We have some ideas about the different entrepreneur-serving organizations, universities, and residential partners that we would like to work with to roll this project out. But we think it has the potential to have a really big impact in Houston, and it aligns great with the Climate Action Plan. And I think my time's up, so I'll stop there.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Andy. And so, yeah, developing new innovative test centers to test, breakthrough technologies based around microgrid, and getting community and government backing to fund this and help serve low to moderate income households. Fantastic idea. So we had 2 teams from floor number 3. The second one is with table 2, and this is Ade Fagiri. If I did not pronounce that correctly, if Jason give Ade presenter rights. Awesome. Thank you very much, and the floor is now yours.
Hello. I'm going to share the few slides we prepared, if that's better. Okay, our issue was incentivizing Houston to become the energy innovation leader. So how do we engage Houston to incorporate clean energy? And here's our team. So Houston is currently the energy leader focused on oil and gas industry, but we'd like to incorporate clean energy to combat climate change and enhance the city's prosperity. Houstonians and the world are impacted by this because we are the global leader in energy, and the Paris Agreement has already declared the urgency of climate change, as well as Houston layoffs have created a skilled and available workforce that could be applied in this sector. So we can't forget that climate change impacts Houston with increased hurricanes, flooding, and all the industry disruptions. So these are some of the reasons why we're going. The stakeholders, who are the stakeholders? So responsibility is spread through a large number of companies, government, individuals, everyone's involved. Discussions have been ongoing for several years, but concrete actions are not yet completely made to make sufficient progress forward. So here are the ideas, the solutions that we have. So our main solution is incentives and culture shift. How do we do this? Drive incentives and culture shift around energy innovation in Houston. So one big one is having incentives for companies. So the city of Houston would incentivize the oil and gas industry to pursue greener projects. They could do that by doing subsidized rents, tax cuts, having advertisements, local demand for local supply, etc. We could have a clean tech R&D center. One other way would be to attract renewable energy companies that are around the US and the world, bring them to Houston. And especially, we utilize all the existing talent and infrastructure that we have from the oil and gas industry to build clean tech. We need to use what we have, and we have incredible talent. Another way would be to have culture shifts, and incentives for individuals. So education around climate change impacts, starting as early as the schools, and then go through for education on how this impacts you. Training programs for the local energy skilled labor. There are a lot of very technologically skilled people that could be trained in green, clean technologies that would make impacts. Improving marketing and incentivized use of renewable energy for individuals. Oh my gosh, already. And then the last thing, carbon pricing. We'd like to discuss a consistent carbon pricing across companies locally and encouraging low carbon projects. How will we need to have individuals that have incentives. Houston participates in the thriving infrastructure created by these incentives, and it'll be measured by job creation, reduced carbon emission levels, city prosperity, efforts across all the stakeholders. So how do we do this? We have an energy innovation task force that will create a consolidated portfolio of clean innovation projects. They will present economic benefits for clean innovation, and the city of Houston and the industries will buy in. That's how we do it. Sorry, I kind of went quickly at the end there, but good. Thank you.
Fantastic. So to recap, driving incentives and culture shift through the city of Houston by subsidizing, rents, tax cuts for local innovators and companies working on renewables, driving clean tech, getting into education in schools, educating the youth on why this is important, and going after carbon pricing. So this is really like taking the government, local angle, local, city, state to help back Houston's transition into Energy 2.0. So that concludes for challenge number 2 in making Houston the energy leader. So going on to floor number 4, challenge number 3, restoring and protecting Houston's ability to capture and store carbon. We have not got a name for floor number 4 yet. I know that there were a few floors empty. If you were a representative of floor number 4, then please post your name in the chat, and we can bring you up on stage to pitch. So Mrs. Heslina Jimenez, I believe that is for floor number 4. This is working with energy transition, restoring, protecting, enhancing Houston's ability to capture and store carbon. If you could, Jason, let's bring her up so that she can pitch.
Hello?
Hi. There you go.
Hi. It's not possible to share our screen from the rooms, the floor whiteboard. That's not possible?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem. And
if you could like take a screenshot. And,
it's okay. I can pitch without it. It's just
okay.
Kind of probably more
loop back around.
That's fine. So, all right, starting my pitch.
I'll let you have the floor.
So we're in Black, and there's been individual economic situations, business economic situations, and demand that make it necessary for oil products and chemicals coming from oil needed in medicine to still exist. And we still have that demand, regardless of whether we want to move to a greener economy and an electric economy. We still need fossil fuels, not just as an energy source, but we need it for their products. So what we're looking at is, how do we coexist? So that's what Green and Black is for. Green and Black is for coexisting both a greener future and with our fossil fuels. With increasing global temperatures, hurricanes, and ocean acidification making global warming an urgent concern, these two problems seem at odds, but they can coexist. Black and Green seeks to allow significantly cleaner production of fossil fuels and fossil fuel products by capturing methane and CO2. For stationary emissions, large emitters would qualify for 45Q carbon utilization credit of $35 per metric tons of CO2. That is already an existing law, if you didn't know that. And capture would include algae growth, for animal feed. Animal feed would be distributed to local farms. This would have a dual benefit of reducing emission from stationary source, but also would reduce methane emissions from cow burps. Studies have shown that most algae reduces methane emissions from cows. The meat would also be sold under a reduced GHG label, which could be sold at a higher price to compensate. For vehicular emissions, we could sell a metal organic framework or scrubber technology as an add-on to the tailpipes of vehicles, so that people who do not want to buy an EV or can't afford to buy an EV can still reduce their GHG. And this could be piloted under the City of Houston, under their climate program. That's it.
Fantastic. Very much. So multiple different ideas, working with agriculture, reducing emissions at the farm, working with metal organic frameworks to reduce emissions from vehicles, many different exciting approaches that I think would be, core to Houston and what we do. And so, thank you very much, Ms. Jimenez. Let's move forward and let's go ahead to floor 7. Challenge. We combined the challenges 6 and 7 around materials management. This is, reducing waste and transforming the circular economy and optimizing waste operations and, creating power from waste. We have 2 teams from floor 7. The first one I will be bringing to the floor is, led by Charlotte Kraft. And so, Jason, if you could bring Charlotte up to the stage, and then after that, we will have the final pitch by Yogesh Kandaskar. So, Charlotte, thank you. Yes, you're on mute right now. And here we go. The floor is yours.
Hi. So you guys might be familiar with our pitch, but we took it a little bit step further. So the idea is that every year we throw out $80 to $120 billion worth of plastic trash, and only 10% of that ever gets recycled. So what if we could take that trash and turn it into a treasure that has a very specific application for flood mitigation for Houston. And our idea is called Duct Walk, and it is a permeable paver structure with included water capture, collection, and division systems, so that the water that flows from the sky to our ground flows out in a safe way that doesn't flood the streets, and makes it so that we can still function as a city when we're inundated by a storm. The benefits of this is that it's water permeable, meaning it's a structure that will flood down into the soil, subsurface soil, and be absorbed by the soil and the natural grasses here in Houston. And it also is quickly prototypable. We're using our 3D printing system that can print with granulated plastic waste to be able to customize these different grid patterns and aqueduct shaped patterns to the different situations that it might be used in. Some of those specialized applications include residential areas, patios and driveways, municipal sidewalks, and commercial optimization. And another great benefit of it is that it could be used for educational purposes, meaning we could implement it in schools, and schools could be able to collect their own waste plastic and then use it to create walkways and driveways that reduce the risk of flooding for their buildings and their schools. Another great use of this is that it's because it's 3D printable and can be quickly iterated. The 3D printers could be on site at the site and used to repair any flaws in the structure and quickly replace any issues so that it can continue to do its job even as it's being repaired. And once it grows beyond the scale that 3D printers can manage, it can move into mass manufacturing and still continue to use recycled waste to get some of that recycled waste out of landfills and back into use in the system for a purpose that helps Houstons all around. And the cool thing about our team is that it is a multinational team, and we have a participant from the UK who's been here, and it's like almost midnight his time. He's still here, still hanging on, and we're really grateful to this fantastic team of people who implemented this awesome idea. Thanks.
Hey, thank you very much, Charlotte. Novel flood management system that can be quickly prototypable, repairable, 3D printed on site. Multinational team can use it for educational purposes. Fantastic idea. So I would like to bring up the next presenter from floor number 7. This is Yogesh Kondaskar. If you could, Jason, give him rights. And we will bring him up. And I did see Julie posted that floor 7 has another pitch. If there is another pitch after Yogesh, please put their name in the chat. So Yogesh, the floor is yours, sir.
Hi everyone. My name is Yogesh Kondaskar, and I'm with Connexon. Connexon is a social network for impact. We are building a social networking a positive social networking platform for curated, positive, inspiring, and motivating content. And at the same time, what we are doing is we are giving a platform for nonprofits and any organizations that are making an impact in our communities to share their good work and get people involved in their effort. For this challenge, what we are working on is we are presenting an idea of a circular economy of a reusing electronic gadgets and devices. Especially in the time of COVID, we saw that everybody, like all the kids, had to go and do homeschooling and do remote school. And with that, there was a lot of families who were struggling, who had single laptops at home, or they did not have the devices at home. So how can we address that challenge for the current crisis and also for going forward in future? So basically, since we have a social platform where people can communicate with other users in their local communities, how can we make it such that people are going to be able to post their needs? So every user will be able to share their needs, and then they'll be one-on-one be able to connect with other users like in the community who have a spare laptop that they can give away, or like a spare tablet that they can give away to somebody in need. So basically, that's what we would be presenting. I think we'll have more on the idea later when we get to the pitch. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Yogesh. So, a social network based around impact, working together with the first foray around circular economy and reuse of electronics. So, really fantastic pitch. I am waiting to. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, Julie, the floor is yours.
Okay. I'm just going to make this quick and preface this idea really stemmed out of the same solution or mindset that Charlotte had pitched as well with the 3D printing recycled plastic. So using that same method, we wanted to help address the large buildup of plastic pollution that is in the world and try to reduce that, but also apply the material to a solution that would also help some other problem afflicting Houston. And it also happens to be flood control, flood mitigation. So instead of the in the ground solution that Charlotte's team had presented, our team had happened to go an above ground solution of building these fillable hollow plastic connector barrels or boxes. I wish I had a picture. And they can link up kind of like sandbags, but made out of these hollow plastic barrels. And you can link them together to form a customizable water barrier that can be deployed and picked up and stacked up and stored by the city governments, residents, companies, hospitals, any business that just needs a temporary water flood solution of a few feet for potential hurricanes, etc. And this would be a great way to reuse plastic that is already building up as waste in our environment and deploy that as a solution that can be reused over and over and prevent further damage of a different type. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Julie. So, fantastic idea. Reducing both plastic buildup and flood mitigation. In this case, it's similar to sandbags. You basically set up a barrier to prevent floodwaters. Easy to set up, easy to tear down. Lots of really, really great ideas. Before we move into the final phase, I would like to give a chance for someone from Climathon Global to come up and address the audience. And after they've come up and addressed the audience, I will talk about next steps. We'll close out. Jason, if you could, let's Fabienne.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Can you hear me? Perfect. So, yeah, hi everyone. It's really amazing to see you all. So I'm Fabienne. I'm from the Global Coordinating Climathon team, part of Climate Kick. I'm currently in Europe, so it's actually midnight here, but it's been so exciting. So I've actually been watching you and staying up. So I think it was definitely worth it. So just a few closing remarks from me. So I think, as you might know, so we're actually having up to 100 events in 5 continents this year happening, and currently you also have lots of people in Pasig in the Philippines that are trying to find solutions. Even though they were just hit by the typhoon, they're still going strong and really trying to find best ideas for their climate challenges. We also have, we're seeing people in Ghana, in Accra, just trying to find solutions. Also currently Mexico City is still going strong until tomorrow morning in Europe to find solutions. So I think this is really to show that you're actually just part of a bigger movement of people that really want to make a change. So it's really exciting to see this all. And yeah, I just want to remind you, so we are actually planting trees for all the ideas that are uploaded on our website. So I think we still need to make a few things work that this will be possible for Houston, but keep looking out for it, and we'll be happy to see your solutions. And also, as I think Grace already said, it's going to be the global awards that applications will open on the 16th of November. And yeah, we'll be happy to see some of your applications. And so you can also win more support and actually some global recognition for your ideas. So yeah, so thanks so much, all of you, for participating. It's been really cool to watch this, and happy to see how these ideas will actually continue and be implemented in Houston. So thanks so much. And have a nice, for you, afternoon, and I'll be going to bed soon.
Thank you so much, Fabienne. It's really encouraging to hear that we are a small part of something much, much larger. And it's awesome to hear about the excitement for doing the right thing and having a positive impact in the world that we all share. So in closing, I wanted to cover three things. One is about the ideas that we heard today, because we heard a bunch of really fantastic ideas. Around electric transportation, we heard an idea about getting an educational series up and off the ground, to highlight the importance of EV adoption in Houston, getting thought and community leaders involved in creating really high quality content that can connect with people of all ages. For energy innovation, we heard an idea about getting a center, backed by government, up and off the ground for testing new equipment around microgrids and providing that energy to low and moderate income houses. We heard an idea about working with the city government to drive incentives for subsidizing things like climate education in schools, carbon pricing. We heard an idea that involved multiple potential solutions for carbon emissions, around agriculture and industry, potentially putting MOFs on vehicles to help reduce carbon and methane emissions. Really fantastic ideas there. We heard about two different flood management systems, one that went underground and helped to channel the water, that could be 3D printed, rapidly prototypable, and repairable. It could also be used for educational purposes. That came from a multinational team. The other one was, building a, easy to install and move around flood barrier. Floodwaters getting into unwanted areas in Houston, which is a problem that we know we have. And finally, we heard, about creating a social network around, helping people find and implement high impact activities, like starting off with circular economy and reusing electronics instead of just letting them go to waste. This has been a really fantastic group of individuals who've come up with a great set of ideas. But this is the second thing I wanted to, this doesn't stop here. These are all ideas, but like Dakota, who came and talked to us about footprint earlier today, these ideas can become a reality if we keep working together. So, make sure you connect with the people who are on your team, keep talking with them, get on the Slack that has been created for this, and keep the ideas, flowing. Get together and start to work on them, and you can create something awesome. The last thing I wanted to talk about, and that is, we do not announce winners today. This is the Global Climathon. This is a hacking event. It's all about coming up with ideas. We're going to have a final stretch. This is a work night. This is November 17th. We will be reaching out with communication to everyone who participated in this to talk about that work night. But yeah, put it in your calendars. The evenings of November, a Zoom work night to continue working on these ideas. Then there's a deadline on November 18th. The ideas will be submitted, judged, and we will select a local winner around November 18th. And then they'll be announcing the winners of the event on November 20th. And so 17th, working session, 18th, deadline to submit, 20th, winners announced. And this has been really fantastic. Look forward to keeping up with everybody. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Fantastic. So I will go ahead and get rolling. I'd like to start by thanking everyone for joining us today for the Houston 2020 Climathon hosted by Impact Hub, the winners of the event. Before we get into that, I would like to thank Grace for putting all this together, Michelle for helping hosting everything, Kevin Doffing for the help that he showed us. We've had a really fantastic experience. We had fantastic participation in the event last week. And it's really exciting to see everyone come together, come up with great ideas to help the Houston community, and come up with ideas that can be expanded beyond Houston and help the whole world.
Thank you so much, Trevor. I'll interject for just a moment. I really do want to make sure that we thank our sponsors, including you, Trevor, and Syzygy Plasmonics, but also Juliana Garaiser with Greentown Labs for sponsoring the Remo platform. Do you have a few words to share with us about your participation in the Climathon?
Well, this is the first participation for us sponsoring the Climathon. I know it won't be last. We had a blast, and it's pretty amazing how the Remo platform is becoming like a thing, and it's having a life on its own. Everybody wants to partner with Greentown Labs now because of Remo. So pretty exciting. And as I mentioned, when we started this Climathon, many of the very successful Greentown Labs companies have started in a competition like this one. So this is really a huge step, and I'm pretty sure that down the years we're gonna go back and say, remember that they started here at the Houston Climathon, and I can't wait to see that happen and hopefully help with everything we have at Greentown Labs and this great community to make sure these projects are successful. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Juliana. And I want to make sure that people remember, if you are working on a solution that you really want to continue pushing forward, organizations like Greentown Labs, Greentown Houston, organizations like Impact Hub Houston are here to help you take your ideas to the next level and hopefully become the next Syzygy Plasmonics, the next unicorn that's going to come out of Houston's clean tech community. And so with that, Trevor, I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you very much, Grace. Thank you for the kind words on Syzygy. I didn't introduce Syzygy last time, so I might take a few seconds right now to tell everyone a little bit about us and what we're doing. Syzygy is making a completely new type of chemical reactor. We can make the things like fertilizer, fuel, and raw materials for things like plastics at a lower cost with no carbon emissions. Technology is based out of Rice University, and we are dedicated to helping the world fight climate change by making cheaper, cleaner chemicals. Very happy to be invited by Impact Hub to host this event. So let us go ahead and get started. So we had 3 winners for the Houston 2020 Climathon, and the first one that I would like to announce is Duct Walk. Duct Walk had a really fantastic idea for a product where they 3D print a scaffolding infrastructure that can help with drainage and help prevent flooding. So here in Houston, we are all too familiar with flooding. So something that was cheap, easy to deploy, used recycled materials, and could help solve one of not only Houston's, but one of the world's biggest problems with flooding, which is going to be happening more and more with climate change. We viewed this as a very compelling solution and decided to give it one of the top 3 slots. On the Duct Walk team, we had a number of people. We had 7 members. There's Jonna Porter, Charlotte Kraft with Jonna Porter is with Fractal. Jonna Kraft is with Re3D. Jenny Yashimoto is with Terra Solar. Anthony Payne with Enactus KCL. Rashil Batra with Schlumberger. Jan Naidu with Annapurna Solutions. Bertha Wong with Schlumberger. Hala Hachim with Hala Designs. And Samir Hassam with IE Business School and Home Depot. Are any of them here on the call today? Feel free to unmute.
So I'm here. I'm Jonna.
Fantastic, Jonna. I'd love you to say a few words about ductwork. Congratulations.
So I just got voluntold, so I'm not really sure what to say. We just had a really good time with it. Everybody was really excited about the the promise of helping Houston. Even our friend Anthony, who lives in London, right? We just thought it would be a really cool thing to do, and that it could get the community involved and be a low-cost solution. So we had a good time with it, and so thank you.
Thank you very much, Jonna. Very, very happy to have you, participating with us in fantastic project and product potential. I really, really hope that this grows into something that we see, more of. I'd like to see you coming back to host this in a year or two, talking about all the success that the team has had.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Awesome. So the second product and project that we'd like to talk about that made the top 3 is Houston InnoGrid. And so congratulations to the InnoGrid team. This was a really fantastic project where you had basically a microgrid model that would be taken, where you have different pilot projects for multiple different types of products, helping to power a microgrid and to create a center in Houston for these types of pilot projects with which the city, industry and startups could collaborate around and help launch these technologies into the market. And so on the InnoGrid team, I know that we had Andy Littlejohn from the Epicenter out of San Antonio. We had Edward Petit, we had Ben Jodat, and we had Brian Gottfried. There were a number of other members on the team, but I cannot see who they are right now. But if any members of the Houston InnoGrid team are here and would like to speak, we would love to have you come up and say something.
This is Brian. I'm here. I know Ed's on the Zoom there. It was a really great experience. We kind of had an idea based out of trying to maybe do something like the Whisper Valley residential community project out in Austin, and trying to do something like that here. And we were kind of fleshing that out. And then Ed came in, and with his background in urban and regional planning, kind of was the last ingredient to put it all together to really make it Houston specific, and tied in the idea of the innovation corridor. And that just really brought it all together. And it was a really great experience and a fun team to work with. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes from here.
And let me just add that in addition to addressing the goals in the climate action plan, we want the InnoGrid to also have an equity component where we're able to subsidize the electrical costs for the residents who are low and mid-income residents of the area around the innovation district, to have subsidized energy costs, and to make sure that the innovations that we're creating in these startup incubators and accelerators have those kinds of spillover benefits to the surrounding community. So it's also going to contribute to the mayor's complete communities plan, to the community benefits agreement that's being negotiated. And so we want this to make sure that we're also doing that advocacy and equity planning component.
Syzygy, as energy company and on the clean tech space, this one is very near and dear to my heart. If there's anything that Syzygy can do to help with this, please feel free to reach out to us. I would love to see this one continue forward. So great. Fantastic work, guys. And then Thanks. Finally, the last but definitely not least, the third team to make the top 3 was Houston, setting the standard for energy innovation. And so this product really looked at congratulations. They're looking at the overall Houston ecosystem and using their knowledge and backgrounds to drive change in the chemical, oil and gas, environmental compliance sectors. And so on this team, we had Keithan Akani, Tyler Boudreau, Terrence Cantorna, Ade Fagiri, Natalie Jimenez, and Catherine Sotelo. And so if anyone on this team is here, I'd love for you to come up, talk more about the project, and what you guys accomplished. And also one note before this is this was also the winner of the People's Choice Award. So for the non-judges voting, this one ranked the highest. So do we have anyone on the project team who could come up and speak for a second?
Hi. I'm Ode, and I see Nasli is here as well. I'm the only two. Tyler as well is here. It's been a really great experience participating. We kind of started from scratch from the first group meeting, and we came up with a few ideas. And over the few meetings that we had, kind of evolved and morphed into the final presentation we saw. So we really were focusing on the oil and gas infrastructure that already exists, and how can we capitalize, and how can we make Houston remain the energy capital of the world without, just moving forward. So it's great. And one of the things that we discussed was the Ghc Scoreboard, which Nasli probably has a lot more to talk about. That was one of her components. But we're very proud and happy to participate. So thank you very much, and congrats to everyone who submitted something.
I just wanted to say I enjoyed working with the team. They worked pretty hard. I actually had a commitment over the weekend, so I couldn't really put in as much time. So it was great that they developed something, and they were flexible to transform, as Ode said before. And we were flexible to integrate the best ideas that we could to make it work. And so that was good. And if you didn't look at it, it's basically it's not like no one is making rocket science here, but we're using common sense proposals to move things forward. And the Ghc Scoreboard is basically a website that would help us to list, rank the different GHG emission deductions that would be happening by different companies. You can group them by your sector, and you can categorize them by percentage or amount of CO2. And what that would do is, if there is this scoreboard, it'd be public, and you could have the city of Houston reward the top performers. And there could be different types of rewards that don't necessarily mean a lot of money. It could be in the form of marketing, free ads on the buses, or public honors. So that's it. I didn't want to take everyone's time, but yeah, thank you guys. And what is the people's choice? What does that mean exactly?
The people's choice means that the majority of people who voted on DevPost for the solutions, that you were the highest voted one by the people. So it's a wonderful award. It means a lot of people think that what you're doing is really important and can make a big difference. And for that, we were going to announce some of the awards, but I'll pass it back to Trevor first.
Yeah. So I just wanted to reiterate. Ode, Nasli, thank you so much for your submission, and to the top three: Duct Walk, Houston Integrid, and the Green Giants, Houston, setting the standard for energy innovation. Thank you so much for your participation, and to everyone else who didn't quite make it. Don't be discouraged. There were a tremendous amount of good ideas. This was very, very challenging for the judges, because everything that everyone was putting up was really great, and it was tough to make a decision. So don't get discouraged. Congratulations, keep working, and I hope to see everyone going forward. And also to the top three winners, I am a huge proponent for energy and innovation in Houston. I'm going to put my email in the chat. Please feel free to reach out to me if there's some way that I can help you move to the next level. Just advice or connections or anything. I would love to support in any way I can. So thank you so much. And Grace, back to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we're going to, following up on what Trevor just said, we're going to make sure that we share all of our organizations and our contact information with everybody who participated. So if you want to move it forward, as Trevor said, you need a mentor, you need connections, or you need advice, we'll be here to help you. I just wanted to let you know you are among 145 cities around the world, over 56 countries around the world, who are working and participating in the Climathon this year. And so it's really exciting to see these great ideas going to represent Houston at the Global Climathon Awards. We'll follow up with you on getting your awards, including your opportunity to meet with the City of Houston's Climate Action Work Group. You will get an Impact Hub Houston community membership for your team, so you can have the resources of the Impact Hub Local and Impact Hub Global Network to help you as you're continuing to develop your solution. And then finally, the official submission to the Global Climathon Awards. For those who didn't make it into the top three, if you still plan on continuing to work on your solutions, let us know. We also want to help you too, because the idea is that everybody fails forward and they pivot and they figure out, well, maybe if I just tweak this, it'll actually be more effective, or maybe you want to join a team for next year. So please keep in touch with us. We're houston.impacthub.net. Or you can connect with us on the Hue Impact app, which is hueimpact.com. And then there is an energy group that's already there. that you can start convening in and just sharing ideas and sharing resources with, just to keep the momentum of this community going. And finally, I know Nazli said that it's not rocket science, but policy is really important too, and incentivizing good behavior and positive behavior is just as important and just as critical. So there's the Global Entrepreneurship Network Awards, Global Compass Awards, and I'll drop the link to that in here. And it's celebrating excellence in entrepreneurship, policy making, investor support programs, and research during the Compass Awards ceremony at the Global Entrepreneurship Congress in March 2021. And it's going to be virtual, so everybody can participate. So feel free to nominate people and nominate yourselves, even if you think that your solution, should definitely be up there. Make sure that you nominate as many people from Houston as possible, because as the energy capital of the world, I feel like we need to have representation in all things energy. And finally, I will stop rambling and pass it back to you, Trevor, to close us out with a message of inspiration, since you're so good with that.
So I think that if we wanted to close this out on a note, there are two things that I would like to say. The first is that it takes a village, and there is no single idea that can, drive positive change through the world alone. But through all of us working together, like we got a fantastic experience doing with this, we can make a positive change. And events like this give me a lot of hope for the future, because every time I turn on the news, I don't even need to say it. As soon as I said the news, everyone on the Zoom call started to cringe. But whenever I come here and I interact with a group like this, it gives me hope for what's coming, because I see dedicated, driven people working together for a common good. And the second thing that I would like to say is it takes a lot of work. Ideas are great, but ideas are just the beginning. And so don't give up. Don't get discouraged. After we get off this call, write that email, set that meeting, set a deadline, hold people accountable, take this to the next step. These ideas that we have here, that we've created through this hackathon are really incredible and can become so much more than a fantastic flash in the pan over a few days. And through our dedication, we can make these a reality. So reach out to each other, network, let's get this to the next level. If there's some way that anyone at Impact Hub, myself, or any of the other team members can help out, don't be afraid to reach out to them. And let's get this going, and hope to see you all again in the near future.